Welcome to Trivial Debates.
Welcome to this week's edition of Trivial Debate. We've got some awesome new debates this week. Each week, our panelists will be judged and scored on their arguments for their facts, passion, and creativity. Our panelists this week are...
Lights are on sale.
Smashing lights, currently.
We got Benny Kizzy, King of the City.
That's not even my name at all.
Benny Graves III. Benjamin Graves III.
That's closer, about the first one.
You're the first one?
Yeah. My dad's Jeffrey.
You're not the third? Everyone in England's a third, aren't they? Or a second?
Well, clearly not, because where would the third have come from?
I guess that's a good point.
Think about that.
That's true.
I
Never thought of it like that.
We got Stephen Noddin. Two appearances or one appearance?
This will be my second.
This is your second appearance. No wins, but a finalist in one round.
And we got Chris Seymour, the veteran of this show, who has never won.
Yes.
Sexy man with frosted hair.
I'm your host, Dave Mader.
If you could see it, it's incredible. Hey man, it's my second fucking podcast too.
I'm getting a little blonde.
Big things.
I'm getting a little bit of blonde hair on top. Are you talking about that, Benny?
Yeah man, it's fucking nice. Like you got several shades, and you can go 50 shades of sexy.
All right.
How the show works. There are 6 rounds plus a speed round by our top 2 panelists. The rounds will be movies, television, music, sports, history, and a wild card. We have Gracie in the background. We also have Kristen here as a fact checker.
We got a dog who's going to be eaten if it doesn't. Who wants a hot dog? Oh.
We want people to be passionate about their arguments, but not personally mean to one another.
Right.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah, Chris, no bullying tonight.
What do you mean? I'm never a bully.
You're always a bully.
Jody isn't here, you cocksucker.
Oh, that's true. I never been on a podcast with him, though.
Keep in mind, you can also skip to a new debate by looking at the time indexes in the description. And you can go to the battles that interest you the most. So if you want movies or you want the history question, just go there. We don't care. This is really like 7 podcasts in one, if you really think about it.
It's a 7-to-1 podcast.
So
some might call it a mass debate.
Yeah. Please subscribe to our iTunes feed. You can also follow us on Twitter, Google, Facebook, and Instagram. Whether you're listening on our iTunes version or you're watching the YouTube version, all links and information can be found in the description or at our web, trivialdebates.com. All right, with that in mind,
I'm going to get you a muzzle. You're going to get a muzzle.
And please post if you would like to see photos of me naked, especially if there's some kind of transaction involved. Yep, send by care of the Queen, Her Majesty, Her Royal Highness, old Liz. Liz too.
With that in mind, let the battle begin. Okay, we're gonna move into the movie round here. This week we are pitch me a sequel that you would love to see made. We already know that there's gonna be Episode 8, for instance, for Star Wars. There's gonna be a sequel to the next Star Wars. That doesn't count. Tell me about a sequel that you would love to see made to a movie that's existing. We're gonna go to Chris first.
Yeah.
The sequel that I would love to see is from 1982's E.T. This movie is going to be E.T. 2, or I don't know what they will call it. It doesn't really matter.
Working title ET2.
Yeah, it needs a tagline.
We're gonna title it E.T. 2. E.T. was one of the most successful Steven Spielberg movies of the 80s.
Yes, this is true.
It was, and a second movie I think would be amazing. And what I'm gonna have happen is the original cast is gonna come back. Like, we're going to have Elliot.
But he's going to be at 45.
Elliot's going to be 45 years old.
Drew Barrymore?
We're going to have Drew Barrymore back. She's going to be, whatever age she is now. She's probably like 45 as well. She might be a little older. Drew Barrymore is in her 40s now, and she's still hot, which is fine. I know my wife is here, but it's not like I'm going to get together with Drew Barrymore anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's not like I have a chance. But
You might.
Okay, so E.T. 2.
E.T. 2, and what I think is going to happen, E.T. is going to come back, or E.T. is not going to come back. It's going to be E.T.'s son.
Well, which one is it, Chris?
No, here's what's going to happen. E.T.'s son is going to come back, and he is going to meet Elliot's son in the closet. So it's going to be a
In
similar.
the closet?
Yeah, well, that's where Elliot and E.T. first met in the first movie. Do you remember that?
No, I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, and E.T. was like, "Woo, E.T. phone home," and he was like all excited. Only in today's version, it's going to be much more updated. It's going to be Elliot's son. It's going to be E.T.'s son. E.T. is going to tell like E.T.'s son, which his name will also be E.T. because that's how aliens work,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Like they just have the same name.
Are you done?
So he's gonna have the same name as him, and he's gonna send him back.
I don't understand what's
He's gonna-
happening in this movie.
What's happening is like, yeah, Family Ties is what happened, and E.T.'s son is going to realize the benefits of Reese's Pieces. He's gonna be like, wow, Reese's Pieces are awesome. Yeah, and he's gonna recognize Reese's Pieces again. Benny, how can you not know that E.T. doesn't like Reese's Pieces?
Hang on a minute, because he fucking used to lay them on the floor.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I could follow him.
Yeah.
Because there were some good
do you
ones.
think?
I thought they were M&M's, dude.
No, they're not, man. They're Reese's Pieces.
Well,
They're-
I thought
they're-
they were only like yellow and brown.
This is a
Welcome to
candy.
my
This
house,
is a friggin'
Welcome to
candy
my
and
house.
peanut butter combination that aliens
Oh, I know.
apparently like.
Me?
Fucking Reese's Pieces is tiny.
I think I'm gonna move to Steve. Steve Noddin,
Done?
what do you got for me?
I think I got those.
My movie sequel, I think, is going to be a sequel of the Titanic. So
He can't sing twice.
no, so I want this to be Titanic 2, which is the after portion of basically it follows up with everyone's. Like James Cameron being the director of Titanic.
But he died.
I want. He's not dead. He's 62. Comes back and he makes the Titanic 2 the aftermarket, the after version, and it would be of how the people that survived it, how they lived their life.
You know what, though, Steve? To be perfectly honest with you, there's been documentaries on this already. It's already been done. Like there's
no movie.
There's no movie.
There's no movie.
But there's
So I
been
think they should
follow-ups
put
to
it into
the
a movie.
Titanic. I don't think it should be a movie.
I think they should put it into a movie.
Like, do you think?
To basically
No, this is
see
more
how
a documentary
people,
than a
the
movie.
people that did survive, see what they went through to survive, and to see how they're still living with it today.
Okay, that is a movie that I would not want to see.
Well,
I wouldn't care about it.
It's a historical movie.
I would honestly
Some
rather
people
see
might like it,
E.T. 2 than that.
Your movie made no sense. It had no. At least with this, at least you can hear about how people survived the whole. Because a lot of people died from the Titanic, obviously.
He's got more of a story than you at this
Like
point.
at least.
I don't think so.
By the way, I think it's my time, not yours. You had yours and you fumbled. A sequel of the Titanic would be great because a lot of people like the Titanic movie. A lot of people would be very interested to hear how people's life changed from that day on. Like, did these people do anything differently for the rest of their lives? Do they ever go back on boats? Do they have that fear? Like, just that whole...
I
about the
think
Titanic.
I honestly think that your follow-up to the Titanic
Well, guess
movie
what?
would be better as a documentary than a
No, I think
movie.
a movie would be great. Therefore,
I don't think a movie would be interesting. I think it would be just
for the
boring.
movie...
Okay, let's move on to Benny. Benny, what sequel do you want to see made?
Dude, I think I'd like to see the Shawshank Redemption 2, man. So, you know, like, through the Shawshank Redemption, Tim Robbins, Morgan Freeman.
The only thing about Shawshank Redemption is...
Yes.
It's a true story, and when it ends, it ends in a good way. So I really can't see when it ends. It ends.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
can't understand how they would. I talked about this tonight with Dave's mom on the way down.
You
'cause at
can't-
first
you
I
can't-
was gonna go with Shawshank Redemption,
Oh, yeah.
and I said to her, she said, "But how? Because it already ended, and it's a true story. If the
Yes.
true
Is
story
it a
ends,
true story?
Yes,
It
it
is.
is.
And the,
I never knew
Yeah.
that movie
Love
was a true
that
story.
movie.
Can we
It
fact
is.
check that?
Oh, is it? I know the movie. What
I'll
do
check
you want
it.
to know?
You say it's a true story?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a true story.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I thought it was a book.
No, it's
No,
a true
no,
story.
it's a true story.
It's a true story.
My
You can't
point is,
sequel a true
You can't
story.
sequel a true story because when the true story's over, the true story is
It's
over.
yeah,
That's
it's
right.
done.
So
Shawshank Redemption was one
We're
of the
down
best
to
movies
two.
I've seen.
Okay, I feel like I've heard what I need to hear. I feel like the winner of the round is Steve.
wow,
What are you talking about?
baby.
How does Steve win that?
See, the thing is, you guys are never going to hear about Shawshank Redemption 2, and it was going to be a good.
E.T. 2 would have been an awesome movie. And
You can't do Shawshank Redemption too.
If
No.
you've watched.
All right, let's move on. Television round.
More.
Oh, television.
What is the best TV universe? I specifically asked you guys to. You have to list a universe where 2 TV shows overlap, where they presumably take place in the same universe, and the characters are intertwined in some way.
You did the correct.
We will start this round with Steve.
Okay, I'm going with Happy Days
Fonzie.
with a spin-off of Laverne and Sherry.
Surely, yes.
So the reason why I chose that one is because most times, as I've seen over the years with some movies, with the very few I have watched, the second one's never as good as the first one. With this one, the first one and the second one were pretty much equal and pretty much both awesome. Normally, like, you look at the Hangover 1 was good. Hangover 2 sucked. You always look at these back-to-back movies, and they're never good. The first one's always the better one.
Right.
In most movies you watch, so for them to pull off the first one, then do the second one, it spins off that good. Well, then I think that's a
That's
winner.
a TV show, not a movie. though.
No, we're talking TV. Okay.
I'm
let's-
out TV now.
All right, Benny. What do you got?
I'm being pedantic as always, but I'm picking the Viewer's Universe for. I'm going to take your suggestion. The Clerks animated series.
What?
Plus,
Views Universe. Kevin Smith. He's choosing Kevin Smith.
yeah, Clerks animated series plus Degrassi.
Degrassi, I suppose, to a degree.
You know what? That is so obscure, Benny, that none of our listeners
I
are
have
going to
no
know
idea
about
what
that.
you just said.
No, I know about that. I know about that because I'm a Kevin Smith fan. I'm sure Dave knows about it. I bet Steven knows fuck all about this.
Oh yeah.
And Kirsten didn't understand it.
I understand it.
I didn't.
I understand what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Well, I don't.
Neither do I.
I'm She's dog. Watch out for the
Well,
You're
what
gonna
did we do? Well, your accent's so strong, I can't understand. That's my problem.
Kristen, you can't.
Not anybody
yeah.
else's.
She can't understand British people when they talk.
No.
Anything else? Views Universe, why?
Well, never mind that one then. You can go elsewhere. In fact, did you already take the Cheers and Frasier one?
I know I suggested it.
What?
You can't change your answer now, though. You've
can-
already.
I know.
Okay,
Toledo.
Chris, what do you have?
I am gonna choose a cop show. I'm gonna choose a Law and Order universe. Okay, we got Law and Order UK. We got Law and Order SVU.
Yeah.
We got the original Law and Order.
Oh my
we got
God.
Law and Order Criminal Intent.
Yeah.
We got listen, in SVU. Okay, we got Ice-T playing Odafin Tutuola.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that?
Yeah, yeah.
You guys know that. This guy has been on Law and Order. He's been on Law and Order Criminal Intent. He's been on the original. We all know this happens in the same universe, and this is an amazing show where it shows they're all different. They're all different themes, right? We got Law and Order Cyber, where it's all about the internet. We got Law and Order SVU, where it's all about mostly that's about sexual abuse victims. We got Criminal Intent, which is all about obviously criminals. We got the original Law and Order, which is basic criminals. But the characters do interpose between each other. They're all in different cities. They're all in different places.
I never even knew there was any. I mean, I knew about Law and Order, but
You don't know about these other ones?
no, man.
Oh yeah, there's actually even a fifth one, which I can't remember. But it's such a horrible show that it never lasted. You know what? This show is so intriguing because you can watch an episode of this show, and up until the last 15 minutes, you will never know until the court case happens. It's always Law and Order is like dun dun. You'll get that. You'll get that dun dun. And then there's the court case that happens. You know what? The court case will happen. They'll discuss things. And you know what? It's very logical. It's a very intellectual show. You know what? It's always based around current events. Things that happen on this show are always based on real life.
Sometimes.
Okay,
Yes,
are usually
Sometimes. It
based
does.
on
Not
real,
every episode.
real life events. So it's always based on very interesting facts, and the characters do cross over very much. It's not
And it
odd.
crosses over with Homicide Life in the Street.
It does. It doesn't. It's not odd to see Detective Munch to be on
Yeah, Detective Munch would be on both.
Munch will be on both. Yeah, Detective Munch. Munch is on both.
Munch?
Tutuola will be
Oh,
on
yeah.
both.
Okay,
That's amazing.
I've heard enough.
Look,
All right.
He's got his.
I think you're good.
Winner goes to Chris.
Yes. Yeah, that's
Round
good. I forgot
round
about
winner
Law
was
and Order.
clearly Chris. Okay.
Yeah, okay. What's next? I forgot about Law and Order. Forgot
Okay.
about it.
Next round is music. Ding, ding, ding. What band do you wish would get back together? A band that has broken up but were infamous in their day.
Whatever.
I have
one.
We
They
are
have to
gonna,
all be alive, like right now.
like
When
They
you
have to be
mean-
all
when you
alive
mean
because they have to get
band-
back together.
I don't
When
know.
you mean band back together, what do you
That's
mean?
I feel like the band would have to make some kind of a revival tour.
That's hard.
Return tour.
Because, like, when
like
you-
if a member's dead, then they could replace that
They
person.
already got back.
But-
Like when you talk about like the Beatles.
He's dead.
No, he's not.
The
Okay.
Beatles, two of them are
Beatles are
dead.
dead.
Chris, what are you saying, Kristen?
Led Zeppelin.
Kristen said Led Zeppelin, and she said the guy is dead, but he's not. So
They could try. Okay, like
Yeah, he is.
if
So Robert Plant, if you're listening, I'm sorry that Kristen said that you were
The
dead.
other guy is dead.
okay, but
Like
Not, the whole
hey,
band
like,
is not alive.
besides the fact that
Chris, like the
Chris.
Beatles.
What?
The Beatles. Two
Beatles
of them
are
are dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they
So-
couldn't have they couldn't.
No,
it'd be
no,
hard
no,
to
no.
Back the Beatles.
Listen.
They can't get back together. They can
But-
never get back together. So you can't choose the Beatles because
Okay,
they can't
you're
get
gonna
back
tell me
together.
that
Well, I got my
everybody.
choice.
You have to choose a band that can actually get back
I
together.
know.
I
I
think.
gotta.
Are you gonna tell me that everybody in Led Zeppelin is still alive? No.
Okay, we're gonna start with Chris.
Okay, my choice is Guns N' Roses,
Yeah.
and here's why I'm gonna say this: Slash and Axl had a big falling out back in the day. You know what? These guys swore they would never ever get together again. The chances of them getting back together again is 0%.
Bands.
But how much would you love to see a Guns
What do
N'
you
Roses
do then?
reunion tour with the original
music.
lineup of Guns N' Roses? You get Slash, you get Axl back together, you get Izzy Stradlin, you get like Matt Sorum, you get all these guys back together. Come on. What happened back in the day is their first album was called Lies. Their second album was Appetite for Destruction. Their third and fourth album was Use Your Illusion.
Released on the same day.
Use Your Illusion 1 and 2, released on the same day. They released 2 albums. Okay. And what happened at this
Long
time?
albums as well.
They released 2 albums
Good
at
bonus tracks.
this same time. There were over 12 number 1 songs from both those albums. You know that, Benny.
Yeah.
There were. And what happened is after this album, Guns N' Roses did split up because Slash and Axl, they were both iconic members of this band.
Sure.
Like,
Axl was a crazy person.
Axl is a crazy person, and Slash is also crazy, like wearing the big hat and his fucking weird hair. And
That what
smoking a
makes him
cigarette.
crazy?
No, but he was an amazing guitar player. Anyways,
Still is.
why I want this band to get back together is because Guns N' Roses did release albums after Use Your Illusion, but they sucked because Slash and Axl were not together.
Well,
And you know what?
I mean, technically, Guns N' Roses, are still around with Chinese democracy.
Yes,
Yeah, but they were-
Chinese democracy,
really
but
not.
was that good? Was that good? No. Because Slash is no, it's terrible because Slash is not there because the band is not
There
together.
was more reasons than that as well, but yeah.
Is it like Axl Rose being a singer can't call his band Guns N' Roses anymore.
He does.
He does, but it's not like it's
He's
not
a
the band.
douchebag, he always was. But
Yes, but
he's
do
one
you?
of my favorite singers.
Yes, but do you think that if Slash and Axl got back together, they would actually produce an amazing album? Again, like Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. Use Your Illusion was probably the top album of the 90s. I would say it was the number 1 album of the 90s.
They wouldn't gel. Like, they wouldn't have that original fucking, combo.
I would like to see them get back together and at least try. Come on, they had such creativity together.
They're both too big right now, though.
They're both
They got
huge
big by
stars.
themselves. Yeah, but they
They're-
got like even.
They didn't get big by themselves. Axl is
They're
like a
not
little
running.
guy right now. Axl's a little guy. Slash is still huge. Axl's a little guy
Like
right now.
physically or like in their stardom?
In their stardom. Betty, tell me this: if there was 2 concerts happening at the same night, Axl Rose and Slash, who are you gonna go and see?
Slash.
You're gonna go and see Slash.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So everyone's gonna go and see Slash. But when Slash and Axl are together, they produce the best music in the world. It's the bomb, and that's why I want to see them back together.
Who's next?
Because I'm done.
The band that I choose would be
ABBA. ABBA.
They were
Yeah,
two
they
couples
did one,
that were in
Say
the
shut up.
music world together, and well, the reason why the band finally split was because the couples did. They got divorced in 1982, which was the last time they performed in December 1982.
Right.
And since 1972, they put out like 370 million albums. So records. So obviously, they were a good band, and I'm sure the band world misses them. So I think if they were brought back, then they do big things.
You know what my thing is, Steven? I think that in 2015, we don't need more ABBA.
Oh yeah, we do.
No, we don't.
Yes,
Like,
we do.
I don't think it would be
I
popular.
disagree.
Is
Kristen
it-
wants more.
Kristen wants more ABBA because
I love it.
because
So
Kristen.
there you go. So if there's, you want to know what I always say?
Yeah, would you like Fleetwood
You
Mac?
want to know what I always say?
What about Fleetwood
Yeah.
Mac?
If there's someone else in the world that wants it, that means there's someone else in the world that wants it as well.
Benny,
Yo.
Hey, who are you?
what band would you like to see get back together?
Well, it's a bit of an odd one because
ABBA.
I'd say Black Sabbath. Like Black Sabbath.
Oh yeah.
Black Sabbath are touring. Like, and I'm fully, it's in my calendar, I'm going to go see them when they do this final film.
So they are still together. So your point's invalid. Okay.
Can you wait?
No, they can't wait.
However, it's not the original Black Sabbath because Bill Ward
not?
is not on drums.
Oh.
They had a big falling out with Bill Ward, the drummer, and he's the only guy obscure in his absence. They did, we had, we had Master Reality, Volume 4, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. 3 of the best albums in existence, I think. Like, you've got the rock and roll, the blues aspect, the heavy metal aspect, the birth of heavy metal aspect, and heavy rock, and all that good shite. I don't know, I always fell in love with the real original, albums, and those ones that I mentioned that I heard. And Bill Ward was the drummer, and he had the same kind of dark nuance, and the same kind of determination to make very new and very specific and very interesting kind of music that all the other guys had at the same time, and really bring it in. So yeah, they're going to reform, they're going to tour, I'm going to see them, it's going to be awesome,
Yeah.
but it's never going to be the original Black Sabbath song
But Benny,
that I fell in love with.
honestly, if Black Sabbath got together now, today, do you
I
think
mean, all with Bill Ward as well.
that Ozzy is ready to sing?
I just saw him last week, he was fucking great.
There you go.
So eat your words, dear.
He's touring right now, he's fucking, dude.
Of course he
I
is.
can't even keep up with Ozzy, man.
The guy can't even talk though.
He can't talk, but he can fucking sing.
Exactly.
I'm telling you right now.
Exactly.
On that stage, I don't know where he pulls it from. I do not know. The guy is fucked up 6 ways from Sunday. But
Exactly,
he fucking
yeah.
does it. He does it on the
Yeah.
stage. Damn, he's the first gig I ever went to. And he's still fucking rocking it 20 years later.
I'm giving the round to Benny.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, he made a great case for Black Sabbath, I gotta say.
He did. Yep. I agree.
It was tough. You guys all...
No, actually, he did good too.
They all did well, but that was a tough round. Benny edged it out. We're in the sports round. What is the most coveted sports championship?
Well, my answer, John, is the...
Dave.
Right, that's the one. Is the Stanley Cup. Why not? Is the Stanley Cup? Why would really? What's your answer?
Oh, we're gonna get to me eventually, aren't you?
He goes last.
Let's see you argue your answer, and then I'll argue mine.
I'm rather surprised. I don't know. This is the thing because I messaged Dave earlier on, and I was like, "Doesn't everyone just have the Stanley Cup for that answer?" He's like, "No." I was like, "Really?" Because we're in Canada. Plus, it's the well, all right.
Benny has no argument
No,
because
dude.
Benny just
What's going
thinks
on?
that the Stanley Cup is gonna win.
He has a little bit of an argument.
He's just like Stanley Cup is the best, and like that's it. I don't even have to argue it.
He's like, I don't understand why everyone wouldn't try to pick this, and upon the realization that if they wouldn't get to pick it, they would just forfeit.
No, I'm blown away. All right. I mean, shit, I'm blown away. No way. It's a Stanley Cup. Fuck. Lord Stanley. Oh my god.
I know it's
Lord Stanley came across the water.
It's a worthy competitor.
He
in this
discovered the
argument.
game of hockey. The fucking monumental occasions
Well,
when they
he
fucking brought it in from the inside. They made a stadium out of it, but they made a game out of it. They fucking drew the classic rules.
He discovered hockey
goalie and playing
in the sense that like man discovers lake. So
I assume
it was
you-
happening
I
already.
assume you guys have not seen Hockey or People's History.
I've seen it.
Well, you know exactly what I'm talking about then, man. I've watched that shit like 10 times. I fucking love that stuff.
Stanley Cup for you.
Hockey
For
history,
that
man.
reason, is the best championship.
Yeah, man, like, Lord Stanley comes across, he loves the game of hockey, he fucking says, right, I'm gonna make a challenge cup. Like, here's Lord Stanley's cup, a nice fucking smitted piece of silver. I'll make this a challenge cup. There's stories of, like, teams getting together from fucking far in Saskatoon, in fucking Regina, over in Vancouver and BC, getting teams together, going on hardcore road trips through the fucking snow. Their vehicles broke down, they had to hitchhike, they had to get bicycles, they had to do whatever the fuck they
The
could.
question though,
Just
Benny.
to go over to the city to play the game.
Benny,
Challenge
I
that cup.
just want to interrupt you for a sec.
Go ahead.
The question was not what cup has the most like history. The question was what's the most coveted
Are you ready for your answer,
in
Chris?
sports.
Well, I mean, because I'll do the history first, but like...
No, but the question is not about the history of it. The question is what's the most coveted.
You can cover something because of its history. The history of the Stanley Cup
Well,
is
you
just
can.
one. The history of the Stanley Cup is just one part of the Stanley Cup. People covet the Stanley Cup for many reasons. The Stanley Cup wins in all sorts of categories.
This is true. This
The
is
Stanley Cup
true.
wins in its history for that shit I've just said with the fucking Challenge Cup and the first professional players and the big debate, the dividing debate about whether like professionals and amateur athletes and the fucking Olympic stuff, the fucking debate about the violence in hockey, the fucking point they made about the very first documented like actual hockey game was broken up because of a fight and that violence was as much of a thread of the like game of hockey as anything else possibly could be. It came from the fucking same origins as lacrosse.
Stephen, do you have anything to say?
And they got the AHL and the NHL and the
I'm just
fucking
listening.
teams.
Are
Started
you
making
just
a
absorbing
league.
all this right
I'm just
now?
listening.
They
Do you agree with what he's saying?
They've got the original 6 teams for fucking ages, and it was a huge deal, and it united the country in times of depression, in times of economic.
What's the
downturn.
definition
Fuck.
of? Because the question is
The most coveted.
covenant. What is the definition of covenant?
I would covet a cup because of all the
Can I
shit,
hear
man.
a definition
I'll
of
covet- it's
covenant?
the ultimate
Most
prize.
coveted would be
Most sought after.
the most sought after. That means the
Like
most,
the most hype.
the most hype, the most amount of
The
people
most
are
hype,
really chasing
the most
that.
amount of people. Well, you know, so I'm sorry, you gotta go with the Super Bowl.
Apart from an Olympic gold medal, but that's not because each individual
Fuck,
medal.
Super Bowl's huge.
is
What if
only
I chose
counted-
that?
Did you?
No, I didn't.
Each individual,
Yeah.
I'm
asked
saying,
about
what
it,
if-
though.
I'm just saying, what if I did?
each individual gold medal is only
I can
levied to
switch.
that
I didn't
person
choose
because
that.
everyone
I
gets
can
one.
switch to the Masters.
There's
You
one
can
Stanley
take
Cup.
the Super Bowl.
Right. When
There
you
was
win
one-
the Stanley Cup, you put it up over your head. It's big.
If
But
you-
why is it bigger than every other sport?
If you win the Stanley Cup, your name gets engraved on the Stanley Cup for the whole of time. It just keeps getting.
Well, they eventually take off a ring and they retire it and they move it off.
Yeah, but it's all part of the same collection. Everyone knows this piece of the Stanley Cup, and everyone follows it from the same original history. There's no other trophy like in sports that's like that. The Vince Lombardi they just copy, the NBA trophy they just copy, the fucking FIFA like in the soccer and the EU they just make copies of them. The Stanley Cup's like the only one that's
It's either
just
the
one
Super Bowl
cup.
or the World
It's
Cup.
got the whole thing's fucking history in it. And to lift that over your head is to lift the exact same thing that every other fucking hockey player before you has lifted that shit over their head. And it's a glorious fucking moment, and it's the fucking history of this whole fucking nation, man. It was born the same time as Canada was born, and like...
I gotta tell you guys,
it's got all fucking...
if you want to beat
I'm going
Benny in this
crazy.
round, you get your work cut out for you because Benny is not likely to be defeated
I
here.
can't give up
I
on
need
this
to hear a
round.
real argument if you want to win against Benny.
All right.
Benny has owned this round.
Okay,
All right.
Chris
Well,
is
but
next.
Benny's the only guy. Okay, I'm gonna one up Benny. Gonna one up Benny.
How you gonna one up him?
I'm gonna one up him because my trophy is also in hockey. Mine is the Canadian men's gold medal in hockey. The reason.
What? For what?
What do you mean for what?
Like, what's your classification of?
For what? For the gold medal.
It said which sport? How is this?
What are you saying, Chris?
Okay, hold on. Yeah, can you get a clarification?
I don't really understand his argument.
Yeah.
Can you restate?
Because it's
Canadian-
which sport?
Yes.
So what sport?
Hockey.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So
What's your other question? Do you have no other questions?
I have a question.
yeah.
So the Olympic gold medal
Okay.
in Canadian men's hockey is
Yeah.
the most coveted award because you not only have to be a Stanley Cup winner, which Benny has many. You could be on one of those Stanley Cup teams and also be on the Canadian men's hockey team.
You could be.
You could, and that is more coveted because you
It
listen.
happens once every 4 years.
Happens once every 4 years, so it's much.
Could be argued it makes it more special.
It's more special because it's so much harder to get onto that Canadian men's hockey team than it is to get on a Stanley. Listen, there are 29 teams in the NHL, or
30.
Let's be honest.
30 teams in the NHL.
To make the team, really, you don't have to. It's not as crazy as people think.
To
you
make-
look at it like right now.
Oh, really?
Look at it right now.
Do you
and
think you could be on this team?
Cindy Crosby. Look at it right now and say Cindy Crosby this year has like 2 points, 3 points all year.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So
do you
he's not having a good year. But I guarantee you, if this was the Olympic year to choose the teams, they'd pick him. Even though he's struggling right now, they'd still pick the guy.
Of course they would, because he's a good player, and he would probably do an amazing
But
job.
what if someone else had more points this year and was playing better than Crosby?
It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
It doesn't-
Names don't
it doesn't-
matter.
It doesn't matter. You have to be a top-notch
When you look
player.
at those teams over the years and years for the Canadian Olympic team, they're pretty much standardly the same.
You know what? I'm changing my answer.
You can. You've already
You can't,
said.
you already-
Let's go to Steve.
No, continue. I want to hear this.
No, I don't.
You've already decided on Benny, so
I haven't decided anything.
you've already decided on
I
Benny.
say you have to beat Benny.
So you've decided on Benny. So I either want to change my answer or I just want to back out. Right
I
now.
haven't heard Steve's yet.
All right.
I'll let you know if you can beat Steve's.
So, most coveted sports, I'd say, would be the Masters.
Golf.
Golf.
Nobody watches golf.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, more people watch it.
So, obviously, the golf is not. It's everyone has their own opinion, but the Masters is a sport where it's the only basically tournament all year that the championship prize is a jacket. When you wear, it's very historical. It's a green jacket.
That's fantastic.
It's so historical that if you win the green jacket, you're actually not allowed to take it off the premises of Augusta National.
Yeah,
There's
it
only
says that for you.
there's only been one guy that's ever taken it off, and he was actually banned. He wasn't allowed to play.
Yeah.
He got a big fine, and he wasn't allowed to play in the following year because you're not allowed to leave the clubhouse with the green jacket.
But how do you join this
So-
club? You can, if you're rich enough, you can join.
No, you have to be invited.
Condoleezza Rice joined.
You have to be invited.
Yeah, and then she was invited.
So, the Masters tournament, you take how many golfers, professional golfers there are, and to win, when you look at the list of people that have won the green jacket, Nicholas, Woods,
All the best.
Mickelson, it
Weir.
is the best. It is the best in the world, and it's actually crazy how many people nowadays. Golf started off back years and years and years ago, and it's only gotten bigger. You look at all the Canadian camps they have for golf. You look at basically everything. Golf is actually, on statistics, golf is one of the quicker growing sports games in the world.
Benny, how much you care about golf?
Oh, it's all right. It's all right.
Golf's a unique sport. I respect golf because it's kind of unique.
Like, I will say
my grandfather fucking played this.
It's not golf is not a sport where, oh sure, you take a ball, you tee it up, you whack it, and sure enough, you try to get it in the hole. Oh, it's easy. It's easy.
It's not a team sport.
It's
That's the biggest difference with it.
It's basically it's all on your own, and golf's basically one of those games where it's people underestimate the game. They say, "Oh yeah, I can play golf. Yeah, easy. You just got to hit a ball down the middle, and you got to hit it on the green. You make a putt, and you're in."
You know why I
So I think
underestimate golf?
it's the green jacket. I think is one of the biggest sports awards in golf because it's definitely the field, the competition this day and age. The young guys coming up. It's historical, and even last year, a young guy, 21 years old, Jordan Spieth, #1 world golfer. He now won this, which makes it history. He's the youngest golfer ever to win it.
I have to hear from Chris.
What? Like, I totally underestimate golf. Like, think of it this way, okay?
Yeah.
You're watching the Blue Jays play. Just let's forget about golf for a sec. You're watching the Blue Jays play baseball.
I'm watching the Blue Jays.
There's a crowd of 50,000 people cheering.
Uh-huh.
You're trying to hit a fucking ball that's coming at you at 90 miles an hour.
Okay.
You're trying to fucking hit this ball.
Okay, I'm trying.
Now, you're playing golf. The crowd has to be quiet.
Why?
Because you're trying to hit a ball that's sitting still.
I thought it was baseball. I thought we were talking about baseball.
No, I'm just doing the comparison.
Okay.
You're trying to hit a ball that's sitting still, like on a tee. It's not going anywhere.
Right.
It's not moving. It's not going 90 miles an hour. You're just trying to hit this ball that's sitting on the tee. Like, come on. How is that even comparable to, like...
Benny, any rebuttal?
What, to the baseball golf thing?
Or anything. Anything that's been said, really.
Well, you got a point, I guess. I mean, the ball is stood still. I don't know.
And everyone's quiet. Everyone has to be quiet. Like, they can't be cheering or nothing.
Well, yeah,
The ball's sitting still.
Look, man, I love Happy Gilmore, for that exact, like... it really brings
Alice
some vibe
Cooper.
into golf. I mean, yeah, like, to be fair, Happy Gilmore made me like golf more. Because you can play that.
Yeah, but nobody actually plays golf like Happy Gilmore.
That
was a movie.
I have my
If you
rule.
go into the shitty clubs, honestly,
Yeah.
if you go to the ones like, because my grandfather, like, he wasn't rich or anything, he played in the shitty clubs.
Well, I don't think that Rich is talking about the shitty clubs, though.
This is
I mean,
Steve.
Steve. He's
I
talking
have
about
my
the shitty
ruling.
clubs.
I'm giving it to Steve for the Masters.
Fuck. Fuck me. Like, why do I always...
Chris, for the record, you're only down by 1 to
Yeah.
Steve. We're tied with Benny. This is anybody's game.
I'm not even tied with Benny.
You are actually.
Yeah, you are. It's
do you mean?
2-1-1.
2-1-1.
It was 1-1-1 coming into this round. Now Steve Noddin, the best one at the podcast, takes up the lead.
Friends.
After Richard Mader beat me in my first ever appearance, I'm looking for my first victory.
Chris, like, I'll give it to you. You made a valiant argument, but Benny also did. But Steve pulled away with his argument. That was what won it for him. We're going to be moving on to history. Ding, ding, ding. The question this week is, what is the most fearsome criminal underworld organization there is or has been? And we're going to be starting with Chris.
Okay, I'm going to say the Hells Angels. Biker gang. I'm going to say the Hells Angels.
Hells Angels, why?
You know what? The Hells Angels, these guys are all over the world.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not only in Canada or the USA. In Canada, the USA, they're huge. They run prostitution rings where they force girls into prostitution. It's inhuman. They collect the money. The police cannot do anything about it. They kill a lot of people. They put hits out on people. You know what? They have another bank. They have a rival biker gang called the Vagabonds. The Vagabonds are not as powerful as them, obviously.
The Vagabonds?
Yeah. The Vagabonds?
I don't know the Vagabonds.
Well, see? You don't even know about them. You know what? The Hells Angels, they control a lot more in our society than you would think of. They could control a lot of the drugs in the area. They can control a lot of the prostitution. They're a very well-organized group. They're a group that's very also out there. Like they've got their patches, right? Like being a four patch Hell's Angel is like being a top of the line guy. That's like saying like I'm a top of the line criminal, and they can drive around on the streets and say like I'm a 4-patch Hell's Angel.
Yeah, look at me.
And look at me.
Level 4.
I've got my 4 patches, and. It's kind of taunting the cops. Like, you can't arrest me for nothing because you haven't caught me for nothing. Yet, these guys are doing underground criminal activity all the time.
Let's move on to Steve.
I'd say it's the Chinese triad mob.
Okay.
They've gone anything from the crime is outrageous what they've done. The tribe's based in like Hong Kong, but they're the same way as the Hells Angels. They're in the UK, they're in Canada, they're in the US, they're all over the world. They go from extortions to friggin' murders to prostitution. Like they're they're not guys you want to mess with. The Chinese mob is, you think a crime, they've done it all. Yeah. There's nothing that the Chinese mob hasn't done, and they basically, everything that's possible, the Chinese mob has tried it. You just want to watch out for them. They're like I said, they're all over the world, and they do bigger things than the Hells Angels. The Hells Angels are tiny compared to the Chinese mob. Chinese mob have upped the Hells Angels 1,000 times. Just the amount of shit that they have done.
I don't think so. I want to give you one real life example. Back in like 2001, this is before I met Kristen and anything. I had a friend who was actually a prostitute. Okay, she was a prostitute, and she was. This was back when I lived in Mississauga, back in Streetsville. The Hells Angels contacted her and said, "You are selling your pussy on my territory. I need you to pay me $500 every week to sell your pussy on my area." And they were threatening to kill her. And this is actually a true story coming from my heart. This is a true story. Her name was. It's a true story.
What happened to her?
I'm actually not friends with her anymore, so I don't really know what happened. But I just knew that I got calls from her on those nights because she was concerned that like people were coming to kill her. And the Hells Angels like do that kind of thing in our local area. Like this is only in Streetsville, in Mississauga. This is very local to us. And I'm sure that they do this same sort of thing all over the world.
Benny, what do you have to say?
I went with the Nazis, didn't I?
That's what you originally said. You want to stick with that?
Yeah, I'll stick with the Nazis. As far as what?
Or neo-Nazis.
Criminal organization? No, the actual Nazis. The criminal organization.
They weren't criminal, they were legal. War criminal.
Well, what's the difference between illegal and criminal?
Well, criminal has an instance of conviction to a certain group of people.
Look, as far as I'm concerned, the crime, like, whatever is a crime, like soft drugs and stuff, is a big matter of debate around the world, and that's an example. But, like, whatever is a crime is, generally decided to kind of influence society around. But, like, a crime generally is, it comes to pass because it has victims. So if you can say something like a true crime, you can see the victims and the effect on the victims. So as far as a criminal organization goes, I think the Nazis and their effect on their victims could be described as nothing short of criminal.
Are they underworld?
Well, they started off as underworld, very much so.
Yeah,
they go to power because that's what.
But they were a political movement. You don't think they're an underworld?
No, I think they're a political organization. They ran a country.
It also said, criminal / underworld.
Yeah, so, meaning that underworld matters in the argument, right? Like,
yeah. Well, / means.
But they ran a country. They're not.
True.
They're not a criminal organization. They didn't get
They're
together.
An organization which
they didn't get together for the purpose of organized crime.
This is a tough one.
I think they absolutely.
It's a tough one, but Dave Mader's going to have to go with.
I'm going to have to go with.
They must have gone for an organization of organized crime. Are you kidding me? This is the most organized crime I've ever seen in the history of the world.
This is fucking hard.
Man, oh my god. That's
I have to award it to Chris.
Woo!
But just barely. It's fucking close. If anything, it was like a three-way tie, but Chris maybe had 34%.
Fit to be tied.
Yeah, it was close.
See.
The next category is wild card, and the question is, what is the greatest threat to the human race? Starting with Benny.
Fear and ignorance.
Fear and ignorance are the greatest threats to the human race.
Yeah, because I think with ignorance, if you don't try and get on board with the context and all the facts and the reality and the truth of any situation, and try and make your opinions and base your life choices on like inadequate information, I don't think that's ever a good thing. So like, it happens all the time. So like, that's ignorance taking place. And then fear, like everybody feels fear. It's perfectly natural. It's a part of the human condition. Fear is, and the fact it's just a feeling. It's it's part of evolution. It helps you survive. But you've got to recognize it for what it is and not let it control you and not let it influence your rational side of the mind you're supposed to have. And make decisions that you really shouldn't be able to live with if you weren't so afraid and weren't so willing to kind of protect yourself.
That's deep,
really
though.
realizing what you're doing.
Let's see. Benny, I appreciate your answer, but I think that the point of Dave's question was more, what will eventually wipe out the human race?
So what's your answer, Chris? Let's move to it.
No.
You can go next if you want.
I'd love to hear your answer, Chris.
Well, why am
Answer.
I next? Am I?
Why not?
I was rebuttaling to you.
No, the rebuttal is after everyone gives their answers. The rebuttal is not after one person.
This is you gave your rebuttal of
All
Benny.
3 people give their answers, then it's a rebuttal time.
Okay.
So now, since you spoke out of turn, it's your turn now.
Yeah.
Continue, Chris. What is your answer?
Well, thank you, Stephen.
Yeah, that's true. He's right.
For putting me on the spot now.
I was always told a podcast is the first person goes, gives their answer, no comments. The second person goes, gives their answer, no comments. Third person goes, no comment. Then finally, the person who's hosting the podcast says, would anyone like to rebuttal after hearing all 3?
Stephen.
You don't rebuttal after one.
Obviously, you have not listened to the Trivial Debates podcast then. My answer is biological warfare. I think that is what will eventually wipe out the human race. Because if you think about this, 15 years ago, we've had threats of anthrax going into the USA, okay? Think about this, if like a company like Japan or Australia, Australia is actually a big contender in this thing. They're a big developer of biological warfare. They can drop a bomb that will destroy the rainforests and put a virus into the soil, and then the soil will be contaminated throughout the entire world. So we can no longer grow crops. We can no longer have food. The entire world will be forced to get their food from the sea. It's going to wipe out pigs. It's going to wipe out everything. It's going to wipe out most of the humans. The humans that do survive will be forced to eat fish. This is a real thing. There's a real thing, and the Australians are already working on it.
Why?
Why? Because they want to be. The Australians are like really right now. The Australians are really not a big world power, right?
No.
But if they develop the power to wipe out the world due to biological warfare,
Why? It's just the last guys left?
They will do it. Right?
Why?
They're just like
You're gonna kill us?
They're gonna kill everybody. They're even gonna kill themselves.
Why?
They're gonna kill everybody.
That's dumb.
It's stupid. It's not a good idea. I didn't say it was a good idea, but I think that
It's a threat.
biological warfare will kill out the entire human race. Like, think of it, like the little bit of anthrax that was released, an envelope's worth into the USA.
It'll kill like an office.
Killed an office, right?
Yeah.
Like, imagine if that shit gets sprayed over a country. Imagine if that shit gets sprayed over the world, or if there's different biological things that they can do. Which the ones that they were working on actually is the one I was telling you about, which is going to wipe out the soil. It's going to wipe out the rainforests. It will basically cause most humans to die. The humans that will be left will be forced to live off the sea. You know, we can't survive on that. The nuclear bomb could wipe out the world, but biological warfare could wipe out the
You want to know what's going to wipe out the world?
Earth population.
Let's go wipe out the world.
You want to know what the biggest threat to
All
human
right,
race is?
Steven, I guess it's on to you now. I guess I'm done.
You're done.
You are done because you made no sense. You shouldn't even have started. A meteorite.
It's not even... That wiped out the dinosaurs years
A
ago.
meteorite. Well,
No,
if it wipes out the dinosaurs, just think they can be anywhere from. You never know when a meteorite's going to come.
You know what, Steven?
Can you predict a meteorite? No.
Steven,
You already had your time. It's not rebuttal time yet. Whoa, not rebuttal time yet. If a meteorite hits, it could wipe out everything.
The whole world.
It could wipe out the whole entire world. Goodbye. The only people that would be around is people if there's other planets living, which nobody truly knows. But you know something, I think the biggest threat to the race is to the human race is definitely a meteorite, because This thing, that's not even real. What you just brought up.
Can hear about this now.
But I think it's definitely a meteorite because they're anywhere from large to small, and basically you never know. With a meteorite, you never know when your time's going to be up. It's not like you're going to go on CNN and see, oh, there's a fucking meteorite coming, say your prayers, good night. Nobody knows when this is going to happen.
A meteorite did wipe out the dinosaurs, yes. That was like 1 billion years ago. I think that biological warfare will happen within the next 50 years. I think the meteorite will happen within the next 100 million years.
Okay, well, all I'm going to rebut to that and say is if it wiped out the dinosaurs...
It wiped out the dinosaurs 100 million years ago.
If it wiped out the dinosaurs 100 million years ago, it could wipe out the human race.
But not tomorrow.
Okay, well, your biological bullshit ain't going to wipe nothing out tomorrow or
That's
anytime
good. That's going to happen within the next 50 years.
A meteorite will hit 10 times before a friggin' biological
happen
bullshit will
in the next 1 million years.
I have my ruling. Probably go Steve.
Steve's wrong.
I'm not wrong. I'm right. I'm never wrong.
Okay, now we're all tied.
No, now I'm ahead.
No.
Yeah,
he's
I'm
ahead.
at 3. You're at
shit.
2. Benny's at 1. So
Benny's out.
Benny's out.
Sorry, Benny. You can help me though decide who's right between them in the speed round.
That's right.
All right.
We're gonna go to a hardcore speed round. Steve's ahead by 1.
So let's move on to the speed round.
I'm not really good at... Steve, to be honest, I'm not really good at these podcasts.
You think I am?
I've never won. No, I know you're not good either.
Thank you.
We both suck, but you're still beating me.
Well, let's move on.
Okay, we're gonna move on.
No.
Okay, we're gonna go to movies.
Tinder.
All
Ding, ding, ding. Speed round. Which produced better movies, the 80s or the 90s?
90s.
Well, I'm fucking out.
You forfeit.
Well, I wasn't even alive.
You can watch them.
I can. Okay, so what do you got to say about 90s?
Come on, we got...
90s. Go.
We got like Air Force One.
He's not doing that well yet.
I love how that is the first movie of the whole decade.
Because we watched that today.
It's a good movie, man, but like, fuck, Air Force One.
Air Force One was...
All
really
the
good
90s can be characterized by Air Force One.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah, that's all he has is Air Force One.
That's all I gotta say about that.
Continue. Normally, you always have this big, long, freaking yielding speech about movies. So then you come out with this.
Which I don't know what it is.
Just give it to Steven.
Okay, well,
I don't really...
Steve, got an answer of some kind so I can give you the point.
The 80s movies are legendary. The Raging Bull.
Never. Okay. Yes, Raging Bull wasn't that decade.
The Raging Bull.
Yeah.
The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah. 81.
The well, even some. When were the Rockies?
I chose... After
When were the Rockies?
I chose the wrong
Just
guy.
stabbing in the dark here.
I chose
Who,
the wrong
me?
guy.
Yeah.
Okay, oh, no, wait.
Those two movies were in the 80s.
Oh, you're right, man.
Am I
Yeah,
wrong?
No.
You hit every time so far.
I got
What about the Rockies?
Yeah, you're in there, man.
Am I not in there?
Can
The
I choose-
Rockies
You're
were
100% so far.
the Rockies were literally the best movies. I'd say the 80s are much better because just well, fuck, look at my answer compared to the 90s answer. Like you gotta think the 80s.
I
Almost one, man. He was like,
The Air Force One fucking dropped them nuke missiles.
The only movie made in the 1990s was Air Force One.
got it.
So-
you know what else I got? Wayne's
yep, it
World.
was a slow decade.
So I think I win that
Wayne's
first
World.
one. Thank you.
And wait, Wayne's World. Also, not Wayne's World.
No, so I won the first one.
Godfather Part 3.
So we're now on to the second.
We have to move into a music.
Okay, well, music, I'm going to win music.
For sure.
Yeah, I will. Definitely. Depends, unless you ask a stupid question.
The question is, who is the most successful female artist? Is it Madonna or Lady Gaga?
Lady Gaga.
Madonna.
Go for it. Love to hear it.
Oh, you answer first. You should go.
Lady Gaga.
Okay.
She's legendary. Lady
Okay.
Gaga.
Yeah,
She's-
Madonna's not legendary. Apparently.
Lady Gaga is just up and coming. She hasn't even hit her prime yet. Lady Gaga is just stirring the pot. It's like just preparing the stew. She's just about to begin. Madonna, yeah, she's good, but she's getting old. She's
Comparing Lady Gaga to Madonna is honestly, like Benny, we were talking about this tonight. It's like comparing Oasis to the Beatles. Like Lady Gaga is an artist who, honestly, in the next 2 years, is much like Oasis. You will never hear from her again. You will never hear from her. Madonna is an epic artist. 80s, 90s, 2000, 2015. She's released albums for 4 decades. Lady Gaga is never going to get that kind of stamina. She is never going to get it. She's like, Lady Gaga's got these freaking implants in her face. She doesn't write her own music. She uses auto-tune, by the way. Auto-tune. Do you know about auto-tune?
I hate to break it to you, but for Lady Gaga, someone who's worth over $200 million, she's not just gonna fucking fade away.
Well, do you think Madonna has more than $200 million?
Yeah, she probably does.
I think she probably does.
But I don't think Lady Gaga being worth what she is, I don't think in 2 years there's just gonna be no Lady Gaga. She's just gonna go to bed and hibernate forever and not. That's it?
Listen, the band Oasis had over $200 million as well. Where's Oasis now? They thought they were the next Beatles. Lady Gaga thinks she's the next Madonna. They're all gone.
I think Chris is winning this
Lady
round.
Gaga is done.
Okay,
You win
next
with
round?
Okay, we're winning on sports.
Okay, did I win?
Yes.
Okay.
So I still got you by 1. Sports. Oh yeah, think good.
Which team is Toronto's true team? Is it the Blue Jays or is it the Maple Leafs?
That's obviously that's a hard question.
I'm picking Maple Leafs. I already picked
Really?
it. I picked it now. You know what? The Maple Leafs have been around since the early 20s. They are definitely Toronto's team. It doesn't matter that the Blue Jay the Leafs haven't won in many years. We all.
When was the last time the Leafs won?
I don't know, last Saturday or something.
No, when was the last time they won the cup? Do you know?
67. I know that. 1967. Anyway, so you know what? The Leafs have been around since the 20s. You know this. They're the original 6. They are Toronto's team. They are. It doesn't matter if the Leafs lose. Like, we would all love the Leafs to win. I would love the Leafs to win. You would love it. We would all actually. Everyone here at this table, even though your team is the Flames, your team is New Jersey.
If the Leafs
Devils.
won, I'd make a noose.
If the Leafs
To
won,
be honest,
You'd be happy?
no, I'd be pissed.
No, yeah,
if a
okay.
Canadian team's gonna win the cup, I'd rather it be Montreal or someone.
Anyways, okay, except for Steven, if the Leafs won, we would all really be happy, right? We would friggin' be celebrating. We would be out in the streets. We would be fucking celebrating.
I don't know.
We would be having a fucking party, right?
I don't know.
We would be really happy.
Leafs?
If that ever happened. If that ever
I
happened.
don't think it will ever happen.
I don't know if it will happen, but let's say it did, Dave.
Okay, sure.
Let's say the Leafs actually won. Let's say it's not going to happen this year, okay? Even under Babcock, it's not going to happen. But next year, the year after, let's say the Leafs won. We're all having a fucking party. We're going to have a fucking party here. We're going to have popcorn. We're going to have fucking banners. We're going to have a celebration.
Yeah, man, dude.
We are going to have a celebration. If the Leafs, if the Jays won the World Series this year, like even this year, there was a potential chance, and
That was exciting, man.
That was exciting. That was very exciting. We would have all been very happy, and we would have all been happy on our own at our own houses. If the Leafs actually do win, this is why I think the Leafs are Toronto's team. I guarantee it. We're all gonna get together and we're all gonna have a fucking big party. Everybody is gonna be somewhere fucking together and we're gonna have a fucking big party.
Steve,
Right?
do you have anything to say to that? Do you have any rebuttal?
I'm just waiting for my answer. So
Go-
then,
go ahead.
After I can rebuttal.
Go ahead.
Okay, 1977 was when the Jays entered the Toronto World.
They did. All
I
right.
will completely agree with Chris and say it's hard to say that the Jays are Toronto's team, considering the Leafs do have many more years in. But the Leafs are the other thing is the Leafs are, yes, they are fading. They are a very, very shitty They're not a shitty organization. They're just a shitty team, which I think, and it's basically the same way as the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays for years were a shitty baseball team. For years. 93 was a great year. They won the World Series. But the last couple of years for the Blue Jays has not been strong, except up till now, the Blue Jays all of a sudden went from... The Rogers Center holds 50,000 people, and they get 20,000, 25,000. Now all of a sudden, it's hard to get tickets. They are basically... The Blue Jays have brought Toronto, a sports team that Toronto enjoys watching. So, yes, the Maple Leafs have been around forever, but to be honest, right now, I think the majority of people would rather see the Blue Jays play because they'd rather see a victory than they'd rather go see a Leafs game. Because there's a lot of people that I know that are huge Leafs fans that would not attend a Leafs game because of the team.
When you're at Maple Leaf Gardens, it's amazing. They've got this full fucking light show that's on the ice. It's amazing. They don't even show it on TV. When you're there and you experience it, it's like...
Well, they're now in the Air Canada... Just in case you didn't know, that the Leafs play in the Air Canada Center.
Okay, in the Air Canada Center. It's like a...
House is 99.
Sorry. It's like a fucking rock show there now. It's like a rock show before the game.
So what does this have to do with what does the pregame show have to do with what's Toronto's team?
That's Toronto's team because more people want... That's the more coveted ticket.
Woo-hoo-hoo. They've won their share of cups. They've done this. They've done this. I'm just staying with my opinion. I think that in the next couple of years, I say Toronto is going to rally behind. I think they're going to rally behind a winning team. I know you're not saying that, it's not about who wins and who loses. It's about the organization of the 20s and the Leafs and the Gardens and all this. But eventually, people do get sick and tired of a team losing and losing and losing and losing and losing.
And what's going to happen?
And I can say losing ever since 1967. I just don't want to go on that long. I think eventually that a lot of people are going to get fed up. And to be honest, I'm going to hashtag it, yes. And I'm going to say, rally behind the Jays.
I have to give it to Steven.
Fuck you.
Close. It's close.
It's Pat Benatar.
You have to win the next 2 rounds to tie him. Okay. History round.
Alright. Oh, man.
What's the most impressive Aboriginal First Nations tribe?
Are you fucking kidding me? I don't even have a clue what a tribe is.
I'm going to say the Algonquins.
That's
You
pretty
say the
impressive.
Algonquins? You want to say the
Okay, come on, Dave. Let's
Do you want to say the Mi'kmaq?
Dave, let's fucking have a normal question.
Okay, normal question.
Well, no, I just won that one because he didn't even have an answer. I just won.
that's
Now we're
bullshit.
tied. Now we're tied, Dave. I had an answer and you didn't. Now we're tied.
Is that fair?
It's your show, man.
I guess Chris wins.
So we're tied now.
All right, we're going to wild card.
No, I'm up by one.
No, now we're tied.
Yeah,
I'm up by one.
He's up by one.
No, we're tied now.
No.
Can tie now.
No,
Yeah.
I was up by one.
Dude, no, you
What?
weren't. Because I was up by one coming into it.
But
You
like,
can
what?
tie this here. Force a tiebreaker.
Man,
Okay, let's see when we stay alive. You want to win this? Okay, here's your question. Bacon or eggs?
bacon.
Well, I got no choice.
You eat eggs.
You lose. Bacon. Well done.
Use it like bacon goes
Because
over
that
pig.
is correct.
Okay, you can use this in so many things. You can use this in grilled cheese.
Chris.
What?
You don't need all this. You only need bacon.
No, you can use this in
You
grilled
need
cheese.
the answer bacon, that'll do.
You can use this.
You
You
would.
can use this in wrapped grilled cheese. You can actually wrap great bacon around grilled cheese. I'll show you how to do this one day, Dave.
He's trying to milk
This
it.
is-
I'm gonna give
this
it to
is
him. in a minute.
I want to hear about eggs.
Yeah, I want to hear about eggs now
Okay,
too.
fine.
Fucking eggs?
Tell it, yeah. Tell
I
it.
can
Fucking
tell you
eggs
more
are
about
great.
bacon.
Yeah.
How do you
I
create
can tell you a lot more about bacon.
Well, you get a chicken pregnant, and then
So eggs are created from sex, and sex is awesome.
Well, it's kind of like the equivalent of a chicken period.
Yeah, well, you know something, fucking sex? Awesome. Fucking
so now we're tied, so now
really,
what?
this guy says fucking
I don't know if
bacon.
Does he deserve the point?
No.
for period, maybe.
I said that word.
Are you serious? The guy says, "Oh, bacon smells good. Bacon tastes good. I like bacon," and the fucking guy's gonna win.
I didn't even say
Eggs
that.
are
I didn't even say
fucking-
You haven't finished telling us about the period.
Well, fucking, I don't care about the fucking.
And
period.
Dave, I didn't even
Fucking
get to
anyway.
explain my point.
Well, exactly. But then
got
it's
By the way, we're tired now. So, like, you guys.
No, fuck. You can do multiple things with. Well, then again, you can do multiple things with bacon, but you can do amazing things with fucking eggs. Because you got poached, you got scrambled, you got fried, you got omelet. Fucking just eggs are
Benedicts.
fucking.
Guys, you
got
guys didn't give me a
Benedict.
chance.
Eggs,
to explain
eggs,
it,
eggs,
you
and
just told me
eggs
I
and
won.
eggs.
You picked first.
You can do a lot.
You guys
of-
just told me I won.
Shh! I'm trying
No,
to
he
speak.
didn't.
The winner's
Yeah, you did.
talking.
Benny told me I won.
Hey, excuse me. The winner's
Yeah.
talking.
Why?
The winner's talking. So we have fucking all kinds of Benedicts. Fucking scrambled. Oh my god, scrambled are good. Fried. Oh.
I was explaining my bacon thing, and Benny said just shut
Over
up.
easy, man. Omelet, man. Omelet. Yeah, you want to have an omelet?
Dave, I gotta win.
Omelet without bacon.
Because
Fuck
Benny told me to
bacon,
shut
eh?
up.
That shit.
Fuck
And you
bacon.
said shut up. You already won.
Onions, man.
Oh, fuck. Nice
All right,
onions.
All right, we're here with Chris.
So I got shunned.
We have a tiebreaker.
Why?
Tiebreaker sudden death.
How'd you go with Chris?
I had to go with Chris on that one.
He had bacon. That's the
Give me
problem.
bacon. Now,
Speaking
with
of
pizza, would you rather it be cheese on top,
Toppings on top.
or toppings on top?
Toppings
cheese
on
bottom?
top. Toppings on top. I take toppings on top.
Okay,
I think he takes toppings.
you think toppings on top is better?
Yeah.
They are called toppings, definitely.
Toppings
You
are
think
supposed.
toppings underneath the cheese is better?
I do. I do think
Damn
that.
right I do. I've thought it all my life.
Yeah, Steven, go ahead.
So, the definition for me, toppings on top. Well, toppings are supposed to be on the top. So,
That's a good point.
I like the point is I like seeing what I'm eating. So if you order a pizza, let's say you order a pizza with ham, sausage, bacon, all the necessities that you like to eat, and it comes and you open it up and it's just straight cheese. So it's like, what the fuck is this? What I ordered? I like knowing that I am getting, since I'm the customer, I like knowing that I'm getting the product that is right that I order. Because essentially, if it's fucking just the toppings and the cheese, they can put anything they fucking want. They give you the pizza and they say buy, buy, buy. But truly, when the people do make the pizza with the cheese on top, do they actually put everything you asked for? Would you ever order pizza that have toppings on the top?
Of course, I would order pizza that has toppings on the top.
So then,
But I would order pizza with toppings on the bottom as
More?
well.
more?
If it was a more reputable pizza place.
What changes your thought on ordering pizzas on the top and pizza toppings on the top and then just cheese on the top?
Well, here's what I'm gonna tell you. There's this place that I work
snotting's
near.
on top.
Okay,
What?
Yeah.
right at
Snotting's
Clarkson
on top.
and Clarkson and Lakeshore Road. Now it's called Mickey's Pizza. I don't know if you've heard of this place. This place has been on a TV show called You Should Eat Here or something like that.
Fact checker?
Okay, what's the show? With John Catucci. What's that show called?
John
Catucci. Do you know what I'm talking about, Benny?
John
Fact
Belushi?
checker?
No,
Jim Belushi.
John Catucci.
So Dave, you're one that with bacon and eggs. The bacon and eggs was settled pretty quick. Do we have an answer here?
Sorry, and it's amazing.
Okay, we're gonna call it. We're gonna give it to Steve. So, that's the game, everyone. Dang. So, congratulations, Steve wins.
Wow, I've never won podcast. I won podcast.
Yeah,
This is big.
Oh, well, good shit.
This is big, man. This is big.
yeah, you won it.
Stop doing
Why didn't I win this?
He was close. You lost it the last second. And
Sorry guys, I woke up, I was having a dream.
oh,
Was it a good one?
Oh, no. Oh, Kristen, you're going to be on our podcast now on our closing ceremonies.
yeah.
Yeah, this is
I
going
was
to
on
be
a nice dream.
collector's edition.
You
Listen.
were yelling in my dream.
All right, do you want to talk about our...
Kristen, I don't think it was a fucking dream then. He was just yelling.
No, but now I'm not. But he's selling my dream too.
Kristen, we're doing our closing ceremonies right now, but if you want to be on this, you can.
Give us a quote.
Give us a quote. Come on down.
Once upon a time.
Say like, thank you for coming to my house or something. Like, thanks for the
Thanks for the pizza guy. I don't have any.
Thanks for the
There's
pizza.
some left. Well, Steve won his first one. Chris came close.
It's not close enough.
All right,
Way to go.
let's go.
Bye, Mom.
Bye, Mom.
Bye,
You
on.
can't steal one.